start with a little bit about me because I'm new. But I just wanted to say thank you to Emma and say it's all very exciting and it's really great to be part of Crafts Scotland at this time. And also I wanted to thank Fenella, who's here from Hatwalk. I've lost her. Where's she gone? Oh, there she is. Who's donated these rather lovely hats that some of us are wearing because I'm working with her at the moment in promoting their up-and-coming Hatwalk show, The Milliner's Tale, which happens on the 11th of September. So I just encourage you all to have a look on their website or speak to Fenella about that as well. Okay, so a little bit about me. I've moved to Scotland from Somerset, so if none of you know where Somerset is, it's really far down the country, where I was working in arts development within rural communities. I worked in rural communities for 5 years and I still can't say it, so I apologise. And I don't know if you can see it, but that's a view of where my old office was in the middle of a big field. I was working in marketing and audience development, theatre development, and also programming and coordinating the touring scheme, which took dance, theatre, music and comedy to rural audiences. And just a few examples of some of the audiences I was working with: a broad range from preschoolers to older people, volunteers to artists and performers. I've always had an interest and a passion in visual crafts and art, and I pursued my own practice to foundation level and then in varying levels in my own time as well. So, it means I'm very excited to be working in craft. That's lots of craft, which is a really fascinating and vibrant sector I'm finding, and also a really beautiful and interesting country. So what have I been up to since March when I started? Okay, so I've been doing a lot of travelling. That's me, in lots of different places. I've been getting to know Scotland a lot better. I've gone from Edinburgh to Helmsdale, Shetlands to Dundee, Inverness to Mull so far. So I know I've got a fair way to go. I've met some really great people, some of you are here. And I've also seen some beautiful countryside and craft as well. So my first task was to take Meet Your Maker up to the Highlands. After its successful run at the National Museums Scotland, which Emma mentioned, we took 3 central belt makers, Leah Black, Gilly Blackwood and Frances Priest, up to Timespan in Helmsdale to exhibit with 2 Highland makers who were Jane Baxter and Laura West. It was really great working with designers Blue Mungus, curators panel and the staff at Timespan, as well as the makers. And we found that the exhibition was really well received. It's just an example of some of the comments from the visitors who came to see the exhibition. I'll just let you read those. I've been travelling, meeting and working with people on Meet Your Maker, and it's fed into the research that I've been developing in getting to know the sector. It's in turn helped me develop Crafts Scotland's audience development strategy, which is what I'd like to present to you this afternoon. Okay. It's a nice little brainstorm. My role is a result of recommendations from a report which came out of a consultation at Burnham, which some of you may be familiar with, and further analysis and research which took place between 2007 and 2008, the key aims of which were, the final report were, these. So I hope to be able to deliver these aims through delivering on Crafts Scotland's own audience development priorities, and if I bring those up you might see a small resemblance between the two, with a little bit of difference added in. So, this is a rather lovely word cloud. I work visually, so something visual, which is a visual representation of the audience development strategy as it is at present. You'll see some keywords that kind of spring out, hopefully, well, some really big ones: craft, development, audience, engagement, activity, opportunity, relationships and partnerships. They reflect the aims and activity within the strategy, and one of the main focuses of which, obviously, hopefully, is audiences. So, some of you may have witnessed me tweeting about audience segmentation, which I promised is less painful than it sounds. Audience segments for Crafts Scotland break down under 2 areas, the craft sector and the market, or craft audience, and developing each will mutually benefit both of them. Some of the more detailed titles are under development, so if you've got any questions about them, please speak to me about it. Emma mentioned the membership scheme, which I hope will really benefit the sector. The programme of work I've developed is mainly focused on developing the market, but includes activity to complement the membership programme and to benefit the sector. So I focused the areas of work around achieving the strategy aims. The first being strengthen, develop and support the Scottish craft community. Put community in pink because I think that's really important. So advocacy through developing a strategic forum, securing ambassadors and hosting a national craft symposium. Networking, we're looking at continuing to attend events across the sector and associated sectors such as design and the creative industries. Current events that several of us have been at are Creative Boom, the Arts Marketing Association Conference and the Cultural and Rural Craft Forums. Developing relationships is really important to foster opportunity, again, across sectors. I've been in discussion with the Pleasance, the Royal Botanics, Eleanor's here today, thank you Eleanor, and also met with ArtLink about possible projects. Evaluation is also really key, developing models of good practice and embedding evaluation in all we do and working really closely with Rachel, our PhD student who Emma spoke about earlier. Also want to map activity across Scotland, all the different types of craft activities which is happening at all different levels, so that we can ensure that we're engaging and representing everyone we can. Securing my role, for obvious reasons, but my contract is due to end in March, so this is key to enable me to continue working and developing the projects I am to start. The plan's ambitious at present, and has a short timeline, so much of the work that I'm going to be developing over the next couple of months will be to pave the way for longer term projects and further activity. So my activity is also complemented in the circle by the membership and the website development that we've also spoken about. Okay, so the second is to enhance the range and nature of sales opportunities for makers and buyers, which I'm sure some of you in here are quite interested in. So that's happening through lots of different ways, hopefully. So I'm going to be looking into working with people to develop more places to sell Scottish craft, developing a commissioning package and researching corporate collecting, mapping the international selling opportunities so that we're able to prioritise how we support makers' attendance at various events, including Collect, Sofa, Origin, etc. Developing the Buy Your Maker brand, so that's on-site and off-site through the Meet Your Maker exhibitions to ensure a consistent quality of craft and increased opportunities for people to buy. Looking at developing a pop-up shop touring package, which is as much about engaging communities, so including training opportunities for volunteers to enable them to be advocates for the craft within their local area and have ownership of the projects themselves. We also want to undertake a feasibility study for a national selling event with a view to holding one in 2011. Okay, so the next one, overcoming the tut effect. I stole this phrase from a maker because I really like it. It's what happens when someone picks up a piece of work, sees the price, tuts, and then puts it back down again. And we want to work towards changing that through the following. I thought that picture was going to get a bit more laugh than it did. That's quite disappointing. Okay, so exhibitions. Developing our exhibitions programme. So that's touring and developing the Meet Your Maker model. So it's gone to the Highlands, we want to go beyond there. But also developing exhibitions with other themes and focuses as well. Community-based projects. So identifying and engaging in participatory projects that use craft. I've recently been to meet with ArtLink about their hospital projects utilising craft to bring staff together and combat stress in their work. So different areas that craft is actually benefiting communities. Craft trails and maps. I'd really like to develop a national craft map of studios and outlets, which is linked into our current directory. But also commission online local trails, which we can promote through partnerships such as Visit Scotland. Developing the Craft Scotland brand and site is really important. Emma's spoken quite a lot about communication, so it's about enabling us to communicate our activity, who we are and what we do and what we're about better. To give our site more interactivity and provide better services, and again, develop our online community, so all about strengthening this craft community that we're talking about. Developing press relationships, so to support all our activity and our members so we can capitalise on good news stories and get the message out there about the quality of craft that is in Scotland. And the C word, which Emma also spoke about, so it becoming more of a campaign developing on the international success that the ad had to a strong campaign to reclaim craft. We want to add as many of your voices to this as possible. So a programme of events and Associated Press is to follow. Okay, so I didn't know Eleanor was coming, so I was talking about this. An example of one of the projects I'm currently developing is the exhibition with the Royal Botanic Gardens in Edinburgh, which we're really, really excited, and I'm really chuffed to be working with Eleanor on it. So through working together, we want to establish a longer-term relationship with the gardens, with opportunities for further exhibitions and development, and also selling opportunities as well. Okay, sorry if I've talked really quickly. This activity will require me to dedicate a lot of time researching and securing funding to ensure that activity can happen, so alongside securing my job. But I also aim to work in partnership, that's a little partnership, with as many organisations, makers and groups as possible to deliver these aims. So that's another key thing, not all about money. Wow, that went really quickly. Thank you so much for listening. That's how you're all supposed to look right now. If you want to ask for anything, then do today, and also please email me at any time. I'm very open to communication. Yeah, thank you for listening.